Actually, when I started to work on this project, I had the difficulties because I don't find a theme which can be related to my reality. And I felt it's really waiting for a good theme. And I went to a dog pond, and I felt such a shame as a member of society. Then I decided I would like to create a movie out of it. And the old dogs are symbolized my reality, where I am living in the middle of Europe, and also as a global citizen. So that's how and from where this film is growing.
And also we could connect it in many ways to contemporary political situation, not only in Hungary but also in Hungary, the right-wing nationalism and all this stuff.
Absolutely. So of course this is a global problem, not just Hungary, but now Hungary is a extreme example. And if we have, racist, chauvinistic attitude as a society, as it's really bad in one hand, but in another hand it's also symbolized our time. And my question is, how can we change? Or it's a belief as an artist, you can change if you create dialogues. So this movie is really try to create dialogue surrounding this topic. And when I started to work on it, I had kind of an anger as a citizen of Budapest. And this is my most Hungarian movie in a way, and that became the most international one in another way. And it really tells me a lot.
Also in Pleasant Days, also in Delta, you have, let's say, very tough subjects. It could really smash the audience, but also the human side of the story exists.
Yeah.
The intimate side of.
Yeah, I mean, it's to face it reality, or face it, where we are living. In one hand, of course, it's close to a drama, but as every tragedy or every drama at the end gives you a lot of power in your own life. And of course, that's what I would like to create. And also in this movie, always I try to come through the heart of the audience, and not just tells things to the brain or just for fun. So that's how I am working. But I quite believe that. So tragedy is always cleans you as well. So from the Greeks. So that's what we know.
So the idea of the dog's rebel, how it happened, because it's in a way surrealistic. It reminds me the first novel of Nick Cave and Don Quixote the Angel.
Yeah, exactly. That was the secondary idea. The first idea was just to shoot a movie about one dog in the street of Budapest, and what's happened with a dog who is under the society, who is really under the society, not just as a poor, who's under it. And then we felt, in reality, his story at the end, it's killed by society in a dog pond. And we felt it's so injustice. So let's try to do with that. And the writer of the script, who is also producing the movie, Victoria Petrányi, had this idea: what if it's a huge rebel? So they attacking the city, and it's coming and give back the truth, and they are uprising, and they have the moral, much more than humans. So let's use a little bit that citation, what we all know from the story of Monte Cristo and many other. And that's why we did that decision, and that was really difficult to create. So it was really a difficult project. So find financiers who trust us and who believe you can work with 250 dogs, then it was really difficult.
So I noticed that you mentioned all of them at the end by name.
Absolutely. and we make an adaptation program. So all of them is in families now, and they had before just dog pound. I mean, dogs from the shelter houses, and it's really. I mean, I was not really a person who think a lot about animal rights, but now I am. So I think it's really mirroring the society. How is your rights to the animals? Because it's really a metaphor of the health of your society.
So there are so many layers here. I mean, references to the history of literature, also the political history. So we could make any comparison to Animals Farm, also to Orwell, but also one of the boys in the orchestra in the beginning was playing on the French horn, the International.
The Internazionale. Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is our past, and it's really a mixed genre movie when I try to mixing a lots of genres, but it's not because I would like to be creative. It's much more like our reality. It's closer to that than pure genres or pure ideology. I think it's over. It's not working anymore. So how your daily life is really, if you're walking from a block to another block in the streets of Budapest, then easily you have a political satire, an utopia by Orwell, a joke, a horror movie even. So it's really mixing the whole things together in one belly. And I try to find the cinematic language for this experience, which is very personal mine, but I think this is also how the audience can connect to this movie.
Did you had any problems with any circles in Hungary, because it's facing also your own reality? I will give an example. Recently we had here Bela Mares from Tudusok, and he said that he could get very hardly financial support from the state because he's make a satire with
Absolutely. I mean, of course, for this movie we had a support, and but I'm working also with an independent group, a theater group, and then anytime when we are apply for a penny, then we don't get any. So of course they can ignoring criticism, but that's really stupid from every power, because if you cut the criticism, then it's more and more a dictatorship than not. So I can't say Hungary is a dictatorship. I think it's still a democracy, but started to push from a special side or a special way how you feel as a Democrat inside your society. It's tricky. It's tricky. That's especially for our generation, because we have a huge belief of the democracy and huge belief of the European Union. We was the zero generation, let's say, so we have no real memory of the communism, especially Hungary, which was the funny barak, you know, that it was softer than anywhere else. And then it's sometimes remembering, oh, the time is coming that we lost. The time is coming when it's when the fear is the make the decisions from the society, economical fear, moral fear. And as in the Fassbinder movie, fear eats the soul, as we all know.
And at the end of the film, you also mentioned some people that you would like to thank too. And so one of the first is Nimrod Antal.
Yeah.
I discovered his film Control at the same time when I discovered your first film.
Yeah.
So tell me about this connection.
Nimrod is from our generation, and it's quite a close friend of mine. And I screened the movie for him when it was like 3 hours, and he was the first one who said, it's a cool movie and let's do this and that, and it was really open-minded, and he helps a lot during the editing process, and I totally appreciate that, so that's why I put on the credit list.
Okay, and your work with Baumgartner, it's one of his really last things that he did. So
Exactly. I had really great memory about him. We met really few times, but the last was really important for me because I was in the situation when we have several no's from the financiers for that script, and I flew to Frankfurt. We had a meeting with Michael Weber and Karl Baumgartner in a gelato place, and we have huge pack of gelato and started to eat ice creams together. And he said, I don't even remember when I read a script like this, and it's really strong. I really would like to support, and I give as much support as I can. And that was really the green light for that project. And then lots of partners coming in and make this movie possible. And that was so good because he is not like a script doctor. He's not started to say this and that. And he said, if you can do that, then it became a very unique work. And it was really straight, very simple, and it's really trustful and gives me a lot of power to believe on this project.
Okay, the very last question is about the human and the society.
Yeah.
Do you believe more in the human itself or in the society? Because in other of your movies also here the society is very destructive, actually.
Always destructive, but also your questions of your humanity, how you find your position in society. So the society gives you the moral questions, always. And at the end, you do, as human, your decisions, and you can choose in between the solidar way or a lack of solidarity, of course. But that pressure always comes from society, but society means every human, always. It's not just something which is unknown enemy. It's us, and it's mirroring us somehow. So I don't make a huge distance in between human or person and society, because society is us and our responsibility how it looks like.